day 19 of the Correa Watch. The only real update that we had over the weekend was Steve Cohen, who said at an event Saturday that he believes there will be a resolution soon, one way or another. So, Terry, I mean, this deal has been in limbo for almost 3 weeks, driving Met fans nuts. How nuts would that drive you as a manager with this deal in limbo here with Carlos Correa?
Well, again, there are things that are in your control as a manager. There are things that are not. And this negotiation, I'm sure, and I've talked to Buck as much as I'm sure he'd like to have Correa. I've told you this before. We want all the good players there is. He stays out of it, I'm sure. He's already probably put his 2 cents in, but it's up to the people in the front office now to make this decision. But I really believe they're going to get the job done.
You think we'll see a resolution soon here?
I do. I believe it's going to happen soon, and I'll be surprised if he doesn't have the orange and blue on next year.
Elise, how would you define soon? And what do you make of Cohen's comments here about getting this thing done?
I don't know. Soon to me is soon. Days, I guess at this point it's really hard to say. But I will say with the comments that we heard, I'm actually putting more weight, more stock into them because this feels more direct, right? This was Steve Cohen at an event to a reporter, as opposed to it feels like all the Twitter talk. And while it was on Twitter, it just feels more direct. So when it comes to soon, I actually look what Steve Cohen wants, Steve Cohen gets. He's the owner. He's the decision maker. When he says he wants something, he goes out and gets it. So when you hear these things, I listen to it and I believe it. So it's more movement than maybe even we thought we would get over the weekend, just some comments here and there. So still a lot of nothing, if you will, or the movement that you want to hear. But I do think it is something, right? It gave us something to look at.
And I think she's right. But I just, you know, with what Steve Cohen's building here in New York, I find it hard to believe that, you know, that Scott Boras doesn't want his player here, because their relationships, Scott's and Steve's relationship, it's going to play out in the next few years. And Scott's going to have somebody that he's going to say, hey, look, I got to make sure I get this deal done because, you know, I've got somebody else that's going to come down the pike, and I want to make sure Steve Cohen's in the bidding.
I think that is an excellent point that not enough people are talking about, to Willow say, well, the Mets and Steve Cohen need the player. Yeah, but Scott Boras needs Steve Cohen. Don't mess up that relationship. But if you're going to take him off, good luck with the players moving forward. Let's make the call to the bullpen and welcome in Todd Zeile. Todd, without Correa, the Mets really haven't improved their lineup this offseason. I know it's a hypothetical, but let's just say they don't get Correa. How badly do you think that they do need a player like Carlos Correa in that lineup?
You know, I may be one of the few that doesn't think he's as, quote, needed as maybe everybody else does. And part of the reason for that is because I think, although they haven't done a lot to improve their offense, Escobar at the end of last season in September and October, 321 average, over 900 OPS, and he showed the kind of hitter that you expect out of him. He's as good or better a defender than Correa. So I don't think you're necessarily losing that much. Having said that, you want a guy like Correa in the lineup. You want a guy that's proven to be big in postseason, that's proven to be big in clutch moments, and he's just a force to go along with the other forces that these guys have, and it would show improvement in the offseason, but I don't think it's the end of the world if they can't get a deal done or he ends up going elsewhere.